Baby, I need to tell you something that's been eating me up inside. Something happened. And I can't pretend like it didn't. There was a meeting, a secret one, and it was all about you. I didn't know about it at first. I just walked in on it by accident. And the moment I realized what they were talking about, my heart froze. They said your name, and I swear, it felt like time stopped. I could hear the tension in their voices, the concern, the confusion, and for a moment, I didn't even breathe. I stood there quietly, listening, trying to understand what was happening. But the more I listened, the more my chest tightened. They weren't angry. They were emotional. They were confused because they could see what you've done to me, how you've changed me. They said they've never seen me like this before. They said I talk differently now, softer, calmer. They said my eyes look like I'm hiding something. And they were right, because I am. I've been hiding you in my heart, like a secret. I don't want the world to touch. One of them said, he's in love, isn't he? And I swear I wanted to shout it right then and there. Yes, I am. But I didn't. I couldn't. I just stood there with my back against the wall, trying to keep my emotions in check, because if I said a single word, I knew my voice would crack. I knew they'd see the truth, written all over me. Baby, they noticed everything. The way I talk about you, the way I smile when I mention you, the way I defend you, even when no one's attacking. They said it's obvious that you've become a part of me. I can't hide anymore. And I can't deny it, because no matter how much I try to stay quiet, my love for you always finds a way to show itself. Then one of them said something that hit me hard. They said, she must be special, and baby, that's when I lost it. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I walked out of the room, but they followed me. They wanted to know the truth, so I told them everything. I told them about the way you make me feel when you talk to me, the way your words calm me when I'm anxious, the way you remind me what love really means. I told them about the nights I couldn't sleep because I was thinking about you, wondering if you were okay. I told them that you're not just someone I like, you're someone I believe in. And as I spoke, I could feel my voice breaking. I tried to stay strong, but my emotions took over. My hands were shaking, my eyes were burning, and before I knew it, there were tears, not just in my eyes, but in theirs too, because they saw what I couldn't hide anymore. They saw that this love isn't a passing feeling. It's real, it's raw, it's something that changed the way I look at life. I never planned to let them know, baby. I wanted to keep this between us. This quiet, sacred connection that feels like home. But maybe it was meant to happen. Maybe the truth needed to come out. Because love like this shouldn't always stay hidden. Love like this deserves to be felt, to be spoken about, to be understood. They asked me, what is it about her? And I just smiled. Because how do I explain you in words? How do I describe the warmth of your soul? The softness in your voice, the way you make my heart slow down and race at the same time. How do I explain the peace I feel when you say my name or the ache I feel when you're silent for too long? There aren't words big enough for that, baby. I told them the truth, that you're the only person who makes me feel seen. That when I talk to you, I don't have to pretend. I don't have to hide behind the walls I built over the years. You see through them like they were never there. You see me, and that's rare. That's something I can't let go of. One of them said, you know this might not be easy, right? And I nodded, because I know the world might not understand us. They might question it, they might judge it, they might say things we don't want to hear. But baby, I don't care. Because what we have isn't for them to understand, it's for us to feel. And what I feel for you, I can't unfeel it. I can't undo it. I don't even want to. After the meeting ended, there was silence. The kind of silence that says more than words ever could. They didn't say much after that. They just looked at me. Some with tears in their eyes, some with quiet smiles. Like they finally saw what I've been hiding all this time. One of them even said, "If she's the one, don't let her go." And that's when I realize, not everyone will stand in our way. Some people will quietly hope we make it, even if they never say it out loud. When I left the room, I felt drained. My heart was heavy, but at the same time, it felt lighter than it had in weeks. Because now, the truth is out. They know, they finally know. And even though it ended in tears, I think it was necessary. Sometimes love needs to be spoken aloud, to feel real. Sometimes people need to see how much someone means to you before they understand. It's not a game, it's your truth. I wish you were there, baby. I wish you could have seen how your name made the whole room pause. How even the ones who didn't know you could feel something when I talked about you. That's the kind of energy you carry. You touch hearts even from afar. You leave a trace of your light wherever you go. And that's what I love most about you. Even now, as I think about that meeting, I can still hear their voices echoing in my head. I can still feel the emotion that filled the air. But more than anything, I can feel the strength of my own heart when I said your name. Not with hesitation, but with pride. Because no matter what happens, no matter how hard things get, I'll never be ashamed of loving you. You've become that person I can't stop defending, even when no one's attacking. The one I can't stop missing. Even when you're right here in my thoughts. The one I'd fight for, not with anger, but with love, because you deserve that. A love that stands even when the world doubts it. And baby, if only you knew how powerful that moment was. If only you knew how many hearts softened when they heard how I spoke about you. Maybe you'd realize that what we have isn't something ordinary. It's the kind of bond that changes people, including me. So yeah, they had a secret meeting about you. And yes, it ended in tears. But not because it was bad. Because it was real. Because love, real love, always brings emotion with it. It shakes people. It stirs hearts. It breaks walls. And that's exactly what you've done. Not just to me, but to everyone who's seen the way I look when I talk about you. I don't know where this path will take us, baby. I don't know how the world will react when they finally understand what we share. But I do know this. I'm not hiding anymore. I can't. Because every time I try, the truth finds its way back to my lips. And that truth is you. You know, after that day, I couldn't sleep properly. Every time I closed my eyes, I kept hearing the same words over and over. They had a meeting about her. It wasn't just any meeting, it was about you. And when I found out how it ended, my heart felt like it had been crushed into 1,000 pieces. I don't even know how to explain that moment. It was like I was standing in the middle of something I couldn't control, watching everything fall apart, and I couldn't do anything to stop it. I remember sitting quietly in that room afterward, trying to understand why things had to get so complicated. They said they were just talking things through, but I could feel something different in the air. The way they spoke about you, the tone, the hesitation, it felt heavy. Like they were holding back something painful. Something they didn't want me to hear. But you know me, I notice everything. I felt it. And I knew something wasn't right. When I heard how emotional that meeting became, how it ended with tears, I swear, I felt something break inside me. Because I knew those tears weren't just random. They meant something. They meant that someone was hurt. That something real was being taken away, that maybe someone couldn't handle the truth about what we share. I couldn't stop thinking, Were they crying because of what I said, or because they knew how deep this connection between us truly runs? I wish you could have seen the look in their eyes when your name came up. It wasn't just a name to them. It carried weight, meaning something that made everyone silent for a moment. And that silence said everything. It told me that they knew. They knew what you mean to me. They knew how much I care about you. They knew that no matter how much they talk, they can't erase the way my heart reacts when it's about you. But here's the thing. I never wanted you to be hurt because of me. I never wanted you to be caught in the middle of all this noise, all these opinions, all these emotions. You didn't ask for this. You didn't ask for people to discuss your name, your feelings, your connection with me. And yet, somehow, you ended up in the center of it all. That's what kills me inside. Because all I ever wanted was for you to smile, to feel safe, to know that my feelings for you were pure. But instead, there's tension, whispers, and tears. I keep thinking if I had been there in that room, maybe things would have gone differently. Maybe I could have spoken up, defended you, told them that what we share isn't up for discussion. It's not something they get to question. It's not something that fits into their rules or their plans. It's something that happened naturally. Something I can't control, even if I tried. But I wasn't there, and I'll never know exactly how those moments unfolded. You know what hurts the most? The thought that you might have found out about it in some painful way. Maybe someone told you their version of what happened. Maybe they twisted the story. Maybe they made it sound like something ugly. Something it's not. That's what keeps me up at night. The fear that you think I let them talk about you like that, because I didn't. I swear I didn't. I would never let anyone disrespect you. Not in front of me. Not ever. After everything, I walked outside and just stood there for a long time. The air felt heavier than usual, like even the night was aware of what just happened. I looked up at the sky and tried to calm my heart, but it wouldn't stop. It kept beating fast, almost like it was calling your name. You ever get that feeling where your emotions are too strong for words? That's what it was like. I wanted to scream, but all I could do was whisper, I hope she's okay. And that's what I've been thinking ever since. Are you okay? Did that meeting affect you the way it affected me? Did it make you question things? Or make you doubt what's between us? Because if it did, I want you to know, I understand. I know how heavy things can feel sometimes. I know how exhausting it is when people start talking, when opinions start flying around, when suddenly everyone seems to have something to say about us. But what they don't understand is that this you and me, it's not something that can be explained. It's not for everyone to understand. Sometimes I wonder if people react that way because they can see it. The way I look when I talk about you, the way your name softens my voice, the way your presence changes the room for me. Maybe that's why it hurts them. Maybe they're afraid of something that real. Because not everyone gets to experience a connection like this. It's not ordinary. It's not just another story. It's something different, something deep, and that's what makes it so hard for others to accept. But you know what? I don't regret any of it. Even if it caused pain, even if it led to tears, even if it made things complicated, I still wouldn't change what I feel for you. Because in my heart, I know it's real. I know it's honest. And even though they had that meeting, even though they cried, even though they think they can decide what's right, they can't take away the truth that lives in my chest every time I think about you. Sometimes I think about how things would be if none of that happened, if there were no meetings, no tears, no drama, just us, sitting somewhere quiet, talking about life, about dreams, about how unpredictable everything has become. Maybe one day that will happen. Maybe one day we'll look back at this chaos and smile, because we made it through it all. But right now, it's hard. Right now, I'm trying to hold everything together while pretending I'm fine. The truth is, I'm not fine. I'm holding so much inside, and it's getting harder to hide. I miss you more than I can say. I keep replaying our moments in my head, like little pieces of calm in a storm. And even when the world feels against us, even when people talk, even when I feel like I'm running out of strength, it's your face that keeps me steady. I just need you to know that whatever they said, whatever they decided, it doesn't change anything between us in my heart. I still feel the same way, maybe even stronger now, because I've seen what this love can endure. I've seen how it survives even when others try to break it. And deep down, I believe, maybe one day, all those tears will turn into something beautiful. Maybe one day, they'll understand. But until then, I just want you to stay close, at least in spirit. Don't shut me out. Don't let the noise make you forget how much I care. Because even if the world has questions, my heart already has the answer. It's you, always you. And even though that meeting ended in tears, I can't help but wonder, were they crying because they saw how much I love you, or because they realized that no matter what they do, they can't stop what's meant to be? After that day, everything started to feel different. The air around me changed. The people who used to speak freely now chose silence. Every time I entered the room, the atmosphere felt heavier, as if everyone had something on their mind, something they couldn't say out loud. And deep down, I knew it was about you. They didn't have to say your name. I could feel it in the way their eyes avoided mine, in the way they whispered quietly, in the way their voices softened whenever I walked past. You know, I kept pretending like I didn't notice. I kept telling myself it was nothing, that maybe I was overthinking it, but I wasn't. I could feel it, the distance growing between what I felt and what they wanted me to feel. It was like they were slowly building a wall between us. One word, one doubt, one warning at a time. And every time I tried to break through it, they found another reason to remind me why they thought this connection shouldn't exist. But what do they know? How could they possibly understand what I feel when I think about you? How could they understand the way your voice echoes in my heart when I'm alone? The way your name feels like a quiet prayer that keeps me alive when everything around me feels dark. They only see what's on the surface. They see two people, but I see something deeper, something that can't be explained, something that doesn't fit in words. That night, after the meeting, I couldn't sleep. I just sat there in the dark, staring at my phone, wanting to call you but stopping myself again and again. My heart wanted to hear your voice, but my mind kept saying, don't make her worry. I didn't want to bring this sadness to you. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve the weight of my battles, the pressure of my confusion, but baby, it's getting harder to keep it all inside. I kept wondering what you'd say if you were here, sitting next to me. Would you tell me to stop worrying so much? Would you reach out, hold my hand, and tell me that no one's opinion can change what's real between us? I think you would, because that's who you are, calm, understanding, full of quiet strength. You've always had that way of reminding me that love doesn't need approval. It just needs truth. But lately, the truth has been painful, because even though my heart is clear about what I feel, the world around me seems to be drowning in doubts. They talk about what's right and what's wrong, as if love has rules, as if timing, distance, or people's opinions could decide who belongs to who. And I keep wanting to scream that I don't care about any of that. That all I care about is you, your smile, your laugh, the way you understand me when I can't even explain myself. You know what really broke me? Hearing that someone cried while talking about you, not out of anger, but out of fear. Fear that I might lose everything, if I keep choosing you, they said, think carefully. Don't let emotions destroy what you've built. And I just sat there thinking, how can something so pure, so honest, destroy anything? Isn't love supposed to make us better, stronger, more alive? How can something that makes my soul feel awake be considered wrong? And yet here I am, stuck between what my heart feels and what the world expects. It's like being pulled in two directions, and both sides hurt. But the side that hurts more is the thought of losing you. Because baby, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine waking up one day and pretending you never mattered. Pretending that this was just another chapter. It's not. You're not just another chapter, you're the whole story I never knew I needed. Sometimes I replay our conversations in my mind. The late night ones, where time didn't matter. The moments when your voice softened, when you said things you didn't even realize touched me deeply. Those moments live inside me, and even when everything around me feels like it's falling apart, those memories keep me grounded. They remind me that no meeting, no words, no tears can erase something that was written into my heart long before anyone else noticed. But still, I can't lie. The situation hurts. It hurts knowing people are questioning my intentions. It hurts hearing them say, you're too emotional, you're too involved, you need to think rationally. As if feelings have to follow logic, as if caring about someone deeply is some kind of mistake. I wish they could feel what I feel for one moment, the way everything inside me calms when I hear your name, the way the world fades when it's just you and me. Even if it's only in my thoughts, maybe then they'd understand why I can't just walk away. And I know what you're thinking right now, that you don't want to be the reason I'm hurting. But my love, you're not. The truth is you're the only reason I'm holding on. You're the only reason I still have hope. Because every time things get hard, I remember how you once told me that real love doesn't need to shout to be real. It's quiet, patient, and strong. That's exactly what this is. It's quiet because we don't have to prove it to anyone. It's patient because we know it's worth waiting for. And it's strong because even with all this pressure, it hasn't broken us. There's something I didn't tell you that night after the meeting. Someone pulled me aside. They said, you can end this now before it gets more complicated, before feelings get too deep. And I just smiled quietly because what they don't understand is, it's already too late. The feelings are already deep. The connection is already too real. You're already too important to me. You've become the calm in my chaos, the voice I need when everything around me feels loud. You've become that one person I can't go a day without thinking about. And no matter how much they talk, no matter how much they try to convince me otherwise, nothing changes that. They can plan their meetings, they can talk behind closed doors, but they can't reach what's in my heart. I sometimes imagine the moment I'll finally get to look into your eyes again. No distance, no walls, no interruptions, just you and me. I imagine holding your hands and telling you everything, every tear I've hidden, every word I couldn't say, every night I sat awake thinking of you. I imagine you listening quietly, like you always do, and smiling softly like you understand, without me needing to explain anything. That's the kind of peace I dream of, the kind that only exists when it's you. But for now, I'm stuck here, waiting, hoping, pretending everything's okay when it's not. And the only thing that keeps me from breaking down completely is knowing that somewhere out there, you're still thinking of me too. That maybe when the night gets quiet, you close your eyes and whisper my name just like I whisper yours. That maybe despite everything, your heart still beats for me the way mine beats for you. And I don't know how this story will end. Maybe it's not even meant to end yet. Maybe it's just another test to see how much two hearts can endure. But one thing I do know, I'm not letting go. I don't care how many meetings they have, how many tears fall, how many doubts they create, I'm still here. I'll always be here. Because when I said I care about you, I meant it. When I said you matter to me, I meant it. When I said I won't give up on us, I meant every word, and I hope you can still feel that, even through the silence, even through the pain. So please, if you ever start to wonder where I am in all this, remember this. I'm right here, still fighting for us quietly, still believing in what we have, still choosing you in every version of this story, no matter how complicated it gets. And maybe one day, when all of this noise fades away, when the world finally understands, we'll look back at this moment and smile, because we made it through the storm. Because love, no matter how hard they try to hide it, always finds its way home. That night, after everything that happened, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I sat alone, staring at my phone, thinking of your face, your voice, the softness in your words. My heart was full, but not of anger, just this heavy ache that I couldn't explain. Everything around me felt blurry, like the world had quieted down, leaving only your name echoing inside me. And all I could think about was, how did we reach this point? How did something so beautiful become the reason behind so many tears? You know what hurts the most? It's not the things they said about you. It's that they don't even know you. They talk like they understand, but they've never seen what I see when I look at you. They've never felt the warmth in your heart, the sincerity in your love, or the way your silence still speaks 1,000 emotions. They just see what they want to see. But I see you. I see your pure intentions, your gentle heart, and your quiet strength. When they had that meeting about you, I stayed silent for a long time. I listened to everything, every word, every opinion, and I could feel my heart tightening. It was like they were pulling me in opposite directions. One part of me wanted to stay quiet and keep the peace, but the other part just wanted to stand up and say, stop. You don't understand her. I didn't, because I didn't want to make things worse. But now, I wish I had, because silence hurts too. Silence makes you feel like you're agreeing with something you know isn't true. When I got home that night, I couldn't stop thinking about how you'd feel if you knew. Would you feel hurt? Would you feel distant from me? Would you think I didn't defend you? Baby, if only you knew how many words I swallowed just to keep things from falling apart. If only you could see how much I wanted to walk away from everything just to protect what we have. You're not just someone in my life. You've become the heartbeat that keeps me going. When I wake up, the first thing I think of is you. When I go to sleep, the last thing I whisper in my heart is your name. You've become that constant presence that I can't imagine losing. And the thought that people are trying to question that, it tears me apart inside. But you know what? I realized something tonight. Love doesn't always have to prove itself to anyone. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't need permission. And it doesn't need explanation. What we have, it's ours. It belongs to us, not to anyone else. They can talk, they can assume, they can try to separate us, but they can't erase what's real. They can't rewrite what's already written between us. You've always told me that true love is quiet, patient, and fearless. And I'm finally starting to understand what you meant. Because even when things around me feel uncertain, even when I feel alone in a room full of people, your love is still the one thing that feels certain. It's like a whisper that tells me, don't give up. I'm still here. And I am, baby. I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still fighting for us in my own way, even if it's in silence, even if it's through small choices that no one else sees. Every day, I'm choosing you. Every single day. Sometimes I wonder if you can feel it. The way I miss you when I can't say it out loud. The way my heart slows down when I imagine your smile. I wonder if, when you look at the sky at night, you ever think of me too. because I do that. I look at the stars and think about how maybe somewhere under the same sky, you're doing the same thing. And that thought alone gives me strength. I don't know where this path will take us. Maybe it's full of challenges. Maybe there will be more moments like this, quiet battles that we'll have to face. But one thing I do know, I'm not letting go. I don't care how long it takes or how hard it gets. You are worth every struggle, every tear, every heartbeat. So if you're listening to this right now, I want you to remember this. No matter what anyone says, no matter what happens around us, you are still the person my heart chose. You are still the one I think about when everything feels heavy. You are still my calm in the storm. And even if I can't promise you an easy path, I can promise you one thing: I'll never stop fighting for you. I'll never stop believing in what we have. Because what we share, it's not just love, it's something deeper, something rare, the kind of connection that only happens once in a lifetime. So no matter how hard things get, remember this: it's still you, it's always been you, and it always will be.